While Apple Arcade doesn't aim for the most realistic looking games, there are still some gorgeous ones that will show the full gaming potential of your Apple device. So today, let's take a look at some of them. Number 10, we have Beyond Blue. Beyond Blue takes place in the ocean, and because of this, it features some highly detailed environments and marine life. In fact, the game is inspired by Blue Planet 2 by BBC and features scenes from the documentary. Cool. While the game is let down with low quality textures for face models and some rocks, the overall environments feel very alive, with species swimming together, just like in real life. The game switches between day and nighttime, and there is a great display of rich colors from all the plants or fauna. The game is powered by the Unity engine. Some games running under this engine have mixed performance, especially on Mac. Yet Beyond Blue has great performance across most Apple devices. Number 9 is Shock Rods. The mobile version of this arena shooter, Shock Rods, looks not the best. It also doesn't offer custom graphics for some reason, so why am I showing it here? Well, I'm actually showing the Mac version here, which is on another level. The desktop version of this game lets you play at a higher resolution quality, a higher overall quality preset, and you can enable anti-aliasing, VSync, and refractions. Now the maps look just stunning, with highly detailed environments and some great effects. Mind you, to enjoy the game on Mac with these advanced settings, you'll need a machine with a dedicated graphics card or an Apple Silicon Mac. Number 8, we have Ultimate Rivals The Rink. Yes, The Rink isn't on par graphically with some modern sport franchises from FIFA, NBA, or Madden. I would say its graphical style is quite similar to something like Rocket League. The use of advanced lighting techniques, great on-screen effects, and the neon-soaked color palette all look top-notch on each map. While the game doesn't support custom graphics, having support for Unreal Engine definitely helps with performance. For example, if you have an older device, it will detect this and drop the frame rate to 30 FPS and lower the graphics. Number 7 is Spider. I know, you were just playing as a robotic spider in this game, but man, the game looks really good. The levels on offer here have a level of realism to them, but are still kind of stylized to give off a retro look. It was a big task for the developer Sumo Digital to get this game running on mobile devices. The spider alone proved to be quite difficult. Some examples of this are that it contains 256 bones. Each gadget inside the spider is comprised of at least 2 skeletal mesh components, and all the legs and body have to interact in real time when moving around the environment. The spider's antenna aren't just for show either, it's there to respond to changes in orientation. It's really quite an advanced game. Number 6, we have Hot Lava. Hot Lava was one of the first games released on Apple Arcade and was a great showcase of high-end gaming on this platform, even if it's just a 3D platformer and powered by Unity engine. Hot Lava has 60 FPS support on new devices, and it has very advanced texture and shadow quality. The game simply looks gorgeous, especially the lava, which is important as that's the whole point of the game. While the game visually looks very polished, it's interesting to note that there is no anti-aliasing on the mobile version. Instead, Klei Interactive, the developer, have dynamically set the game's resolution. So every extra bit of performance has gone to increasing the resolution as close to native as they can get, which therefore reduces visible aliasing. If you play on a Mac, you will have access to more custom graphic options. You can improve the resolution, change the quality preset, disable or enable lava simulation, bloom, VSync, ambient occlusion, and anti-aliasing. Number 5 is the Bradwell Conspiracy. Arguably, some scenes in this game do look flat, and the movement and mechanics are not amazing. But there are times when this puzzle adventure, the Bradwell Conspiracy, is super pretty, especially the opening sequence when the building is falling apart. Particles are falling down on your screen, lights are flickering and bursting, and there are some great shadows and contrast here. I will say, the game is best experienced on Mac, as you can disable motion blur. On other platforms, you can't change any settings, and motion blur makes me feel quite dizzy here. I don't know if everyone will have that, but that was just me. Number 4, we have Oceanhorn 2. Oceanhorn 2 is the game Apple love to show when promoting Apple Arcade. This is because, well, it looks a little like Zelda. Mind you, it is kind of more clunky in areas, and it has a decently sized campaign. Unlike the first game, which had its own engine, Oceanhorn 2 made the switch to Unreal Engine, which allowed them to more easily switch to a third-person perspective. Plus, it's worth noting, on some new devices you can enable a 60 FPS mode, and on Mac and Apple TV you can play at a low or high graphics quality. Number 3 is Samurai Jack. Popular cartoon children's series have proved lately that they can be blockbuster video games too. Samurai Jack is another example of this. Some call this game a cartoony version of Ghost of Tsushima. While I get the resemblance, they're not really anything alike. Samurai Jack does have small elements of role-playing or Souls-like gameplay, but there is no open world to explore here. It's a linear game from start to finish that mixes arcade 3D action and platforming. If you like something like SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, this one is definitely right up your alley. Number 2, we have Beyond a Steel Sky. Beyond a Steel Sky is a massive adventure set in an AI-driven future. The cel-shaded graphics, which are similar to Borderlands or maybe the original 13 game, if you know that one, do look fantastic. The graphics here look great, and really, it all adds to the investigation type experience. Some people get confused by the art style and think this game will contain action or shooting, but that doesn't really exist. It's all about talking to people, exploring and solving puzzles. The animators of the game used motion capture and facial animation. Look, it's not perfect, mind you, and there are games that do this technology significantly better, but when it works here in Beyond a Steel Sky, it has the ability to bring life to the ridiculous character dialogue through some expressive gestures and facial expressions. Number 1, we have The Pathless. The Pathless is a next-gen title on Apple Arcade. After all, it was released on PS5 and Xbox Series X at the same time. You get exactly the same game here. The main differences are, with the Apple Arcade version, is that on iPhone, iPad and Apple TV, the frame rate is locked at 30, and texture and shadow quality has been reduced. But the game still looks pretty phenomenal in this state. If you have a new Mac with a dedicated graphics card, or an Apple Silicon Mac, you can experience the game at pretty much the same level as a next-gen console. My favorite thing with the Mac version is how, as you run or walk through the grass, it will interact with the hunter. This is missing on mobile devices. Yes, it's just an indie game, but it's still a blast to play, and it's simply beautiful to look at. Here are some bonus games. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a music-based action game with a very unique art style that will honestly take your breath away. Redout Space Assault is a space shooter with the latest state-of-the-art shading and lighting effects provided by Unreal Engine 4. Towers of Everland is an RPG game and was created with an internal proprietary game engine. It also has native Apple Silicon support. Little Orpheus is a great platformer powered by Unity. It has some frightening yet mesmerizing locations. Alba is an open-world adventure with handcrafted visuals. Every little corner of the island has been looked after with great detail. South of the Circle is an adventure game with fully motion-captured performances to achieve emotional realism. The Last Campfire is a puzzle adventure taking place in a dark but dazzling forest. What do you think of these games? Do you wish there were more, realistic looking games on Apple Arcade, and not ones with an arcade or stylized approach? I know the comment section will be interesting for this video, so I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Anyway, leave a like to show your support, and subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. My name is Stewie, and thanks for watching.